organization at this time. We got plenty of things we can do. Let's just pick those things now that are going to help us most. So that's an important thing for any sustainability leader to think of is, how am I going to shift my priorities among all these things that I can do so that I can best help my organization and the stakeholders that depend upon it. Green products, of course, is another area, I might add. Because why? Because if we can sell green products, can boost our sales, all the better. And by that, I would point out that, green products aren't really here to stay. But as I say, it's not a perfect world, and, pricing is an issue. Think about this one. You got, anybody familiar with 7th Generation? Yeah, the big green products company. Kind of struggled for a while, now it seems to be taking off. Look at that. 30% growth a year for 10 years. But then what happened, last year, or 2009, down 3%. Why was that? What happened? Why did the sales drop off? Competition, that's one thing, but what else?
People were cutting their costs.
Cutting costs, right? If I can buy toilet paper, it's twice as expensive, very green, but twice as expensive, and now all of a sudden my budget's cut, what am I going to do? The pressure's going to be for me to go with the cheapest item. You're not going out to buy steaks anymore. You see, McDonald's stock went up why? Because people are, they're moving down in their buying patterns. They're going to a cheaper alternative, right? So they're not immune to that.
Is 7th Generation, is that a P&G or?
No, this is an independent company.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just hired a new CEO, mind you, and of course this year they are projecting their earnings starting to come back. But that was one of the things. So it's like, wait a minute, the green products are there. Their business is still viable, and they've kind of taken it to the next level. They've grown so much that they've hired more, you might say, professional leadership. But still, they had some suffering. Look at the organic food sales. It's 3 to 4 times normal food sales. You can see the growth, fantastic growth up to 2008. 2009, it dropped off, but it was still 3 times what normal food sales was. 5%, still not shabby for a downturn. And that will continue to grow. Why are people interested in that? Why are people buying organic food? For their health. They think it's better for their health, right? It's primarily driven by health. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then think about these other products still out there for sale. Think about the hybrids too. When are people really attracted to hybrids? When gas prices go up, right? So again, there are pricing elements to all of these things. But the theme is, hey, there is a market here for this. There are people, and we'll talk about that at the end. There's a group of people that are going to buy this stuff. You can expand your markets, but don't think it's just a no-brainer. There are pricing issues that come into play, and we'll talk about when they're relevant and when not. 2 basic benefits. We talked about, can you kind of summarize? What do you think the 2 kind of high-level benefits are of moving towards sustainability? What would you tell your CEO? Kind of bring it down to a nutshell. Deb, do you have any ideas on that?
I think brand recognition and reputation.
Brand recognition?
Reputation.
Reputation, yeah, that's an important thing. Anybody else? The 2 high-level, kind of summarizing this, yeah?
I tend to be a little more theoretical, but I don't think there's an option. I think companies that don't move towards sustainability, by and large, will not be successful companies over the next 20 years.
So you think that, and why? And what is it that's going to undermine that? Why aren't they going to be successful?
Because
what's missing? What will they be missing if they don't do this?
The world is changing so much, and if you don't adapt to the world's changes and realize that in order to adapt, you have to be sustainable. Natural resources are less. Energy prices are in flux, probably going up. The growth of our population worldwide, the fact that people from all over the world are going to look at the American way of life and say, I want a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to do that? I think a company that doesn't become sustainable now, and the question to your CEO before is, sustainability to me is just being an excellent company. And why should we sacrifice being an excellent company just because times are tough? We should be an excellent company in tough times, good times, mediocre times, and everything else. I frankly don't believe there's an option for sustainability.
So anybody else? Two major benefits. So he's saying no option, got to do it because we aren't going to be successful. Yeah, it's probably true. But what are the two major? What would you say? Anybody else? Two major. Yeah.
Well, stock price is number one.
Stock price.
Stock price will go up over time.
So your stock price, the value of your organization is going to go up or down, and you want it to go up. If you don't do this, the stock price will go down. You think? Okay.
Customers, more customers.
More customers, driving customers.
Increase customer base, which
Increase customer base.
exceed to higher profits.
Higher profits. So all of this is all one way of saying, at the end of the day, this is going to bring us more profits, right? Longer term, maybe not in the short term sometimes, but longer term, absolutely. Okay. Any other ideas or other things that the sustainability thing is going to help us do?
But I think it's important to differentiate between profit and stock price, because one of the big values is in the value of the brand and the intangibles, which
intangibles.
Are a larger portion of the stock price.
Brand value, the value of the brand, so to
From a
speak.
CEO perspective, that's what they're principally looking for, and so this is a way to get the stock price up.
Well, let's look. Yeah.
It obviously includes profits. That's one of the components, but there's more to it than that.
Is it every company that pursues sustainability is going to see their profits go up?
No, not necessarily.
Why? What's another aspect of this?
Well, there's risk, which is another component.
Risk. If you're in 1930 and you're making buggy whips and you've got a nice sustainability program, I'm sorry, the market's moved.
But that's part of sustainability.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Saying
Maybe.
we ought not to
Anticipate.
be in buggy whips anymore.
Anticipate, yeah. Well, here's my view of this. Certainly, the long-term financial viability of the organization is at stake. The very existence of the organization is critical, and this helps us do that by increased sales, if we do it right, and by improved productivity, if we do that right. There's another aspect of this as well, and that's improving and maintaining the loyalty of key stakeholders. And by stakeholders, I mean these folks. Why is it important to have the loyalty of your stakeholders? What kind of an organization do you have if you don't have that loyalty? Yeah, you have no organization, right? If you don't have good support from your investors or customers or even the general public, if you don't have the good support of your stakeholders, you don't have a company. So how do you foster the loyalty of stakeholders? What is it that you do in an organization that will help those stakeholders stay on board with you? What do you think? What do you think? Jackie?
Respect.
Respect, yeah. You have to. And so how do you create respect? It's a good question. How do you do that? What do you do with an organization so that it's respected?
Offer good products, quality products.
Quality products to those. So meeting expectations of your customers. They expect. I expect. I buy your product. I want a good product, right? I don't want it's going to fall apart. I don't want it's going to get contaminated with lead. I have expectations of quality and so forth, and performance. So yeah, that's important. What else do you do to create loyalty of your stakeholders?
Good customer